It was early evening, the summer sun still hours away before the consumption of its effervescent rays giving way to the starlit Cimmerian, the celestial sphere of the rural Kansas night sky. Seated beside Gary in the Isuzu pickup his two Confederate youngsters, Robert and Sandy, their expedition fishing paraphernalia stationed in the bed of the Picayune transport. This journey in all probability, a last foray to the paramount aquatic basin belonging to family friend and church brother, Marvin Ott. The elder Ott, after the closing the Bank of Kiowa, finding it would be in his best interest to transfer the ownership of the illustrious fishing location property to his son John. Gary politely phoning the new proprietor to acquire permission for him and his two siblings to acquaint the Otts fishing arena as in the past. John in an antagonistic voice agreeing, but his affirmation having a reluctant tone which wasn't surprising to the prospective angler. John's reputation was one of antipathy, unlike his older brothers Doug and Brad, whose presence was always one of congeniality. A journey through Hazleton, turning west on Gerlane Road, then turning north at the Dan Luthi farm, passing the Powell spread. The abstracted Chevrolet pickup fulfilling the last 2 miles on the dirt-entrenched roadway. Coming into view a familiar sight, 100 yards down the sloping terrain, a small unpretentious lodging adjoining the first of 2 ponds. The lower pond, a bass-filled Dominion with its diminutive water landing dock sporting a yellow paddle boat. Disembarking, the family novice fishermen anxiously anticipating the challenge of the bass-filled aquarium. The paddle boat, their perfect platform of dispatch, providing an oracle for their venery. Robert, pole in hand, casting off the right side of the paddled endowed vessel. Sandy, non-occurrent when regarding casting, her line with hooked worm and bobber attached trolling from the aft quarters of the aqua platform. The pond waters providing a respectable collection of bass. Each of the 3 having success producing a sufficient product of quantity for their efforts, enjoying the quiet serenity of the gentle waters and the encompassing tranquil surroundings. The aura of solitude was broken, Gary distinguishing a pickup truck on the crest of a nearby hill, a person at its forefront peering at them. The person with the prying eyes was recognizable, it was John Ott, participating in a surveillance from a distance. His conspicuous actions, traveling off-road across open fields to scrutinize the Wilson family pleasure. His veiled appearance projecting an impression of distrust. Gary's benefit of the doubt towards John's credibility, a sense of disdain beginning to subsist. John's verisimilitude of character would forever be questioned. The fishing venture coming to a conclusion, Gary keeping his observance to himself. The sun beginning to wane in the west, highlighting the exiguous cirrus clouds with shades of pink and ribbons of purple, giving a credulous to Kansas, the land of opulent sunrises and sunsets. Robert and Sandy returning with an auspicious display, their fishing expedition another joyous experience. Scientifically speaking, cannulae embodiment was a deception, in reality it was a conduit, aggregating the wondrous effulgence dispatched from a boundless infinite realm of the nighttime sky. Its presence, a stature of prominence in the chronicles of Revelation, introducing an acuity of knowledge, a prescription for discovery and a gifted glimpse of the community tenants populating the vastness of the universe. In other words, in plain English, the 5.12-inch Sealstron reflector telescope having found a place of honor and lodging with Gary. His youthful excursions to the Chabot Observatory, the telescope viewing of the planet Saturn with its majestic yellow rings, and a dwelling into the realm of science fiction authors Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov, culminating with a monthly in-person acquaintance with Poul Anderson and the Elves, Gnomes and Little Men's science fiction, Chowder, and Marching Society monthly meetings in a Telegraph Avenue private library in Berkeley. All contributed to Gary's propensity for the nocturnal sky and its celestial inhabitants. The brilliance of the moon casting earthen shadows, silhouetting the landscape with a metamorphosis of symmetry, Gary acquainting the telescope to a family gathering at the Bud Murrow residence. The astronomer organizing a viewing order, first Jan, her sister Lynn, and brother-in-law Sean. The children, Robert, Sandy, the Johnson girls, Sarah, and Jamie the youngest. Finally, with some encouragement, Jan's mother Helen, and her Aunt Esther and Uncle Charles Terry. Bud remaining contentious, an inherent demeanor, above placing his eye to a magnifying lens. The elder Murrow missing an opportunity to inhale the breathtaking view of the moon, Jupiter, and its ever-increasing number of discovered satellites, but Gary understood, that was just Bud expressing his congenital aestheticism. Gary's asseveration was a lifelong desire, a camera mount for a telescope to envision his own photographs of the celestial essence found in the nocturnal sky. But discovering that his Minolta 35mm camera's aperture wasn't conducive for the undertaking. When mentioning a camera, he noticed an immediate accession in his Bud's interest suddenly was exhibited. Bud, a camera enthusiast, offering to loan his expensive authoritative Canon 35mm, to accommodate Gary's purpose. The event exposing the eldest Murrow's hidden but true interest in photography, not the end results, but the challenge in obtaining them. Exhibiting the nature of a true construction engineer. Gary not amazed at the response from the group, remembering the lasting feeling from a first-time viewing of the celestial world we live in.